Hi, I'm Al Cherney with Panasonic, and I'm here today at Full Compass to talk about our UX180 camera. UX180 is a new line of cameras for Panasonic. It's part of a two-camera family, the other one being a UX90. But for now, we're going to talk mostly about the UX180. The camera is a run-and-gun camera, meaning it doesn't have a detachable lens. It has a 1-inch sensor. It is a 4K camera that can also do high definition. And by the way, it can do 4K and 1080p high def simultaneously on 2 SD cards, which is the media that this camera records on. This camera has a touchscreen, can be used for many different functions. It has a 20:1 optical zoom. It has a full 3-ring lens arrangement, which means that it's got iris, zoom, and focus that can be operated either manually or automatic. It has full audio capabilities, professional audio. It has 2 XLRs, so one up here where you might connect a wireless mic, and then one in the back for a handheld or output from a mixer or something similar. The camera is it's a really nice camera. The lens is made to match the image sensor. So that means it's a Leica designed lens, a famous German lens manufacturer, and it's made specifically for this camera and more importantly for this 1-inch sensor that's in this camera. So as opposed to cameras that have interchangeable lenses that are made to be used on a wide array of cameras, this lens and this image sensor are a perfect match. So they're made to be optimized, so they work very well together. All right, let's talk a little bit about the I/O on the camera. So this camera has HDMI out, and it has a USB 3 in, and also has a USB host connection on the top. Another output on the camera is it has SDI out and full 1080p 3 gig output, and also has timecode in and out on it. Also remote controls, so this camera can be used in a studio type environment where you would mount a large display on the back and then have remote focus and zoom controls plugged in directly to the camera. On the USB, you can plug in a wireless adapter that we have called a WM50, and what that does is with a free app that you download from Apple, you can operate the camera. You can paint the camera. In other words, you can adjust the colorimetry of the camera and look at clips wirelessly on a free iPad app that you can download. So that's kind of a really neat feature that this camera has. And it also shares with a number of other cameras that we manufacture. You're probably wondering, well, who is this camera for and why did we make it? This camera is basically a replacement for the AC-160, and that camera was strictly a high-def camera, a 1080p camera, very popular in the education space, in the usually K through 12 and higher ed, also for corporate use for smaller cable companies. A lot of people really like that camera, and so this camera has a larger image sensor, and so meaning it's a 4K. It'll do 4K, and it's also very good in low light level. Let's talk about recording media a little bit. There's a little door that opens on the side here, and there are 2 SD slots. So the SD is the media that this camera records on. And what's unique to the 180 as opposed to the 90 that's a part of that family is that it can record 4K UHD and high def 1080p simultaneously inside the camera on those 2 cards. So you can take a 4K, if you've got a high def shoot, you can put the 4K card on the slot and take the HD recording and go directly to your editor. And speaking of editors, let me just mention that this camera can handle 2 different families of codecs. So it'll handle MOV and it'll handle MPEG. So all of the codecs that are inside this camera can be put under either of those wrappers, if you will. And the value of that to you and to your customer is that it is editor agnostic, or meaning that you can pretty much use this content, and you can edit it on Apple, you can edit it on like Premiere, you can edit it on Avid, Grass Valley, just about any editor that's out there. So that's a real plus on this camera. A number of cameras don't allow you that kind of flexibility, so that's really important. So the 90, which is a part of this family, the UX90, looks just like this camera. It looks almost identical to it, but it's not as full-featured as this camera is. So this camera has a 20:1 optical zoom. The 90 has a 15:1 optical zoom. This camera will allow you to record 4K and high def simultaneously. The 90 will only allow you to record one or the other, but not both at the same time. Thank you very much. To learn more about this camera, please go to your Full Compass website. It's www.fullcompass.com, or contact one of your Full Compass representatives. Thank you.